A reliable livelihood, the ability to secure the necessities of life such as food, water, medicines, energy and income, is essential to those living in poverty. Livelihoods and jobs around the world often depend on nature, including in South Africa. As many as 12 million people in rural areas in our country directly depend on trees for fuel wood to cook their meals and warm their homes. Over 2,000 wild plants supply more than 27 million people with traditional medicines in our country, employ over 130,000 people, and generate almost $218 million a year. Tourism in our country, which depends on healthy parks and wildlife, supports a $14 billion economy, around 8% of our GDP, and supports 1 in every 12 jobs in South Africa. Commercial fisheries, worth 80 billion rand annually, employs over 100,000 people, and small-scale fisheries support the livelihoods of another 100,000. Nature, in the form of healthy and diverse ecosystems, is key to sustaining all of these livelihoods and jobs. A square kilometre of healthy wetlands, for example, provides resources for local communities worth $211 per household per year, more than 6 times more than annual average cash incomes in the area. Healthy ecosystems play an important role too. Non-timber forest products contribute about 20% of the annual income of poor households. But the nature that sustains the livelihoods of millions of South Africans is threatened, placing at risk the well-being and safety of our most vulnerable community members and our economy at large. Forests and savannas are becoming fragmented. Invasive alien plants have spread across large areas of the country. Fisheries are becoming depleted. Forests and wild plants are over-harvested, and large swaths of land and coasts have been converted to other land uses. In some parts of the country, such as Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal and the Northwest Province, the rate of loss and degradation of natural habitat has become dangerously high. To address the loss of biodiversity and ecosystems, and to ensure that nature can continue to support livelihoods and jobs, every country on Earth, including South Africa, agreed to a set of 17 ambitious goals and 169 targets. Championed by the United Nations Development Programme, these Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, would, if fully implemented, ensure that by 2030, countries eradicate poverty and hunger, ensure basic services and equity for all, sustainably manage natural resources, and take action on climate, all while reversing the loss of biodiversity and protecting and restoring natural infrastructure. South Africa is taking action. In 2015, we developed a roadmap, a national biodiversity strategy and action plan to protect, restore and sustainably use natural ecosystems in order to achieve our own national development goals, including sustaining the livelihoods and jobs of millions of South Africans by protecting and restoring natural ecosystems. We will start by focusing on those areas that are under pressure, including from a change in land use, from mining, from invasive species, and from overharvesting, including overharvesting of fisheries and forests. Mapping the pressures on biodiversity and ecosystems will be a key step to help ensure that these areas can continue to provide livelihoods and jobs to millions of South Africans. In our National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, we plan to ensure that we protect key species, especially threatened plants with medicinal value. We also plan to work with key production sectors to make sure that they are following best practices and guidelines, to ensure that we are maintaining the healthy ecosystems that sustain us all. Together, by protecting the natural ecosystems that are critical for livelihoods, we can ensure that we have a sustainable future.